What's up, everybody? It is my birthday edition of Quantum Spirituality 3 Core Live, or whatever it is, but I just wanted to stop and give some shout outs to some folks because, like I said, today is my birthday, 58 years young, and I'm glad about it. And this has been a tough week because on Monday, my father-in-law, Angela's dad, he passed away, and we've been up here in California ever since, just kind of tending to family affairs and all of that, and really have made some really awesome connections. It's like I learned that I had a new brother, and I've just been enjoying him. We've been spending a lot of time talking and just getting caught up as if we had never had ever been separated, and it's just it's an awesome thing. And I was going to do the video this morning like I normally do, but I think that going forward, I'm not going to do a Sunday morning thing anymore because I'm not tied to the Sunday morning model anymore. I don't really have a need to do that. I don't have a need to preach. I believe that that teaching can happen anytime. I don't think that you have to have a specific time or and I definitely don't believe in the building and all of that stuff. And really, where I am right now, at 58, for the first time in my life, I can honestly say that I'm free. Now, I don't know how that really pertains to you and to your life, but to me, it means a lot because I've been in bondage to religion. I've been in bondage to what I believe my pecking order in society was. I've been in bondage to what I believe that that I'm supposed to be as a man or as a human, and all of these things. And now I'm at the point where I really don't care. I'm cool with who I am. And I'm cool with who you are. In other words, I used to be like, okay, so-and-so's cool, but he drinks a lot. So-and-so's cool, but she's gay. So-and-so's cool, but it cuss a lot. And so it was like always my thing to try to bring the quote-unquote word of correction into the situation and try to help people get over their spiritual idiosyncrasies. And now listen, I want to say this very clearly, very emphatically. I love people. If you are hearing this right now, I want you to know that I love you. I love you more than I can ever explain it. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. That's up to you. Now, what I can share with you is what I've done, what has transpired in my life, and what works for me. And maybe that if you hear this, if you see it modeled out, then maybe you might find something that's tenable for you. So it's not about trying to fix people anymore. I'm just past that. I am at a point where I'm going to, and let me say this for the record, that for me, the final frontier is finance. I'm looking now at ways that I can inspire and supercharge my finances so that money ceases to be an object for me. Because honestly, money is an obstacle for many people, for most of us, because we don't have enough money to do what it is that we really want to do. In other words, we do what we want to do within the confines of the ability of our money to produce that result. And I don't think we should be that way. I don't think that God, the universe, source, that it was ever intended for people to live according to wages. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it's supposed to work. So I'm working on that, and I'll be sharing some things with you over time that that kind of fit in with that. Now, I do have one special request. I have a request for each and every one of you, everybody that's listening. Please go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Derrick Day, DerrickDay, and I'll put the link below. If you go out there and subscribe and like some of the videos, here's the thing. Right now, I have right about 600 subscribers. I need 1,000 in order to move the broadcast into another dimension. And once it gets there, it kind of takes on a life of its own. And I need to get that done, not because I'm trying to promote anything, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build streams of income, and also I'm also trying to put some content out that will help people achieve freedom in their lives. Because listen, if you think that you have to live according to someone else's standard, that you have to live according to someone else's rules, or if you think that you have to live according to somebody's book, y'all, you are in bondage. And I don't care what anybody says. You know, people say, well, you know, it's a relationship and not religion. No, that's actually bullshit, y'all. The reality is that if you're living according to what someone else's standard is, then you're stuck. And this is the deal. Because people say, oh, well, you're just telling people they can do whatever they want. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's precisely what I'm saying. And hear me out. If what you do pleases you, helps you, encourages you, edifies you, and it's financially lucrative, but it doesn't exploit or harm anyone else, then you are living a good life, right? And the reason why I say that is that we need to start looking at life as my rights end where yours begin. Because if I'm living according to that, that means that whatever I do, I'm doing the best that I can to live my best life. But I'm not doing it at the expense of you. And if I'm living that way and you're living that way, you're doing the best that you can. You're doing everything that pleases you, that encourages you, that advances whatever it is that is in your heart and mind to do, and it doesn't harm anyone else, then you are living your best life. And that is what it's all about, y'all. It's getting to the point where we just simply live our best life. And let me say this to you too, that if that best life for you includes Jesus, that's great. It's also great if it's Muhammad. It's also great if it's Buddha. It's also great if it's Krishna. And here's the thing. Me personally, I'm a Jesus lover. I think that Jesus really modeled out in the narrative of his life as we've received it as someone that I can emulate in how to accurately and completely love others, right? But your mileage may vary. And if it does, that's cool. I'm not trying to proselytize you. I'm not trying to change you. And I'm grateful for all the people in my life that haven't tried to change me. But for all the people that feel like they have to proselytize and they have to change, I want you to know something. I want you to know that if that's the way you live your life, you're setting yourself up for a life of disappointment and dissatisfaction. In other words, if you simply look at people where they are, love them where they are, as they are, how they are, and why they are, without trying to fix anything, without trying to convert anything, without trying to rearrange anything in their lives, dog, at that point, you have peace. You know, and people say, well, you know, if you don't have Jesus, you don't have peace. No, that's crazy. I mean, listen, this is peace. Peace is when you are content with who you are, where you are, as you are, why you are, and that you are content with others in the same point. And that's really powerful. I can't really tell you how. And the one thing that if I could say I'm sad about anything today is that it took me this long to get here. I am so happy, so at peace, so joyous right now. And let me say this too, because again, I'm not trying to change anyone. Now, you might hear or see some political commentary that I posted. I'm not going to get into that here, but I will say this, is that the only reason why I post the things politically that I do is because if I see something that is not of love, I'm going to point it out. Not to necessarily dismantle it, but so that you can see it and understand, you know, whether or not this is something worth emulating. Because honestly, you need to develop this filter through which whatever you are doing in life, that it is filtered through love. And when I talk about love, y'all, I'm talking about empathy and compassion. Y'all, hear me, please. This is the root of love. These are the elemental components. You can probably break it down even further. You could probably get even more nuanced as to what, you know, what love is. But the reality is that at the core of love, if you want to think of the protons and neutrons of love, you want to think about the neutrinos and the quarks of love and the photons of love, that basically empathy and compassion. So if I'm not willing to look through the lens of others and see it as they see it, I'm not loving. I don't care what I say. What I say doesn't matter. And then if I don't have compassion, if I can't just say, you know something, I really give a fuck about what you're going through. I really care. And if I can't say that, I don't care what I say. You know, if I say, I love you, brother, I love you, sister, but I don't really care about what it is that you're going through. I don't really care about what it is that you're having to endure. And I don't have empathy. In other words, I'm not willing to see it through your eyes. I'm not willing to take a walk in your footsteps. If I don't have that empathy and compassion, I don't have love. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't, neither do you. But if you will take a moment and look at people where they are and say, you know, what is it like? What does a day in your life look like? What does it mean to walk in your footsteps? What does it mean to be a black man, a white woman? What does it mean to be a Hindu Indian in America? What does it mean to be Muslim? How does that walk out? And if you're willing to ask these questions honestly, and then look through the eyes of those people without trying to be judgmental, without trying to be condescending, without trying to be converting, at that point, you're seeing it through their eyes. You're trying to gather understanding from their experience. And what happens is that if you really take this walk, you are going to grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I dare say that you will even grow physically. That something inside your very being, your physical being, will change. And I want to say this about my dad in love, Jerry Wilbright. You know, he was a former pastor and preacher, kind of like how I am. And he realized at a certain point that he heard every sermon that he thought he needed to hear, and he preached every sermon that he thought he needed to preach. And he realized that at the end of the day, it's not about how many souls you win, but it's how much love you manifest. See, it's the thing. What Christianity, evangelical Christianity, has done is it has made what should be organic and natural into something that is just basically another scorecard-driven event. It's just like your golf game, or it's just like bowling, or it's just like tennis or baseball. It's anything where you're basically looking at the scoreboard, and we're not supposed to be living our lives according to the scoreboard. Listen, me having something doesn't mean that you don't. It's not a zero-sum game, and we need to stop living like that. What we need to do is start living according to love that says that, when I see people succeeding, I'm not upset. I'm celebrating. It's like when you're hitting home runs, I'm clapping. I'm enjoying it because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you have your very best life. And if there's any small contribution that I can make to that, I am blessed. And that's all I want. That's all I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it short. I didn't really want to do a long thing. Got a house full of company downstairs. Got a bottle of Hennessy that's waiting. and my mom is making some, I don't know if you would really call it okra, but let me just tell you, it's got okra, it's got corn, it's got onions, garlic, it's got crawfish tails and andouille sausage in it. I don't know whatever you want to call that, but that's what she's making. And then yesterday, my brother smoked some ribs to perfection, and so I'm gonna be eating ribs. I'm gonna be eating this Creole dish, whatever it is, and we're gonna be loving on each other and enjoying each other, and and just really living. And listen, that's the thing, y'all. That's what life is all about. Life is about living and loving. So I not only want you to live your best life, but I want you to love, first and foremost, who you are. Love you. And then as you love you, you will begin to love others. And when you begin to love others, you will show humanity what it looks like to love God. You got it? So, again, my request, my birthday request, because I'm not putting out a Cash App or anything like that. I'm grateful that I have a good job. I don't need money. But if you will go to www.youtube.com/Derek Day and go out there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please don't just subscribe, tell people about it. Because what will happen is that this will begin to build momentum, and it will help others see the broadcast, and whatever it is that I may have said that has been a contribution to your life can now be a contribution to others, and you'll help me achieve a goal, which is great. That's the whole thing. We should be helping each other achieve our goals. You dig? Instead of trying to hold each other back. And also, be sure to check out, there will be a new episode of the Heretic Happy Hour that will drop next week. Make sure you check that out, and go out and check out the pages of my my co-hosts, Matthew DiStefano, Katie Valentine, and Keith Giles. Make sure you check them out. Give them some love. Show them some love. And also the entire 3 Chord Live and Goma families, Bill Thrasher, Michelle Brown, Tammy Wilson, Catherine Toon, Mike Zinker, Keith Giles, Kyle Butler, Lynn Bennett Jr., Mike Porter, and myself. Basically go out, because these are people that are actually showing what love is manifest in the world. right? Go out and show them some love. And then also my friend and brother, Tony Calloway, does Life in Favor. And then my friend and brother, Henry Harris, that does the Brother Henry and You show. Make sure you go out and check them out. And then also, I had a podcast episode for the Love Forward podcast that was going to drop this week. But again, we lost Angie's dad, and that kind of changed the scheduling. But be sure to check out on tomorrow. There will be a new podcast episode dropping. It will be me and my sister, the lovely Sandra Day. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. If you guys, I know you guys see our interactions on Facebook, but if you want to know what it's like when we are having a conversation and we're just kind of being fluid and flowing with each other, you don't want to miss it. It's something that I think is going to be inspirational, and I think it's going to be very helpful. So, y'all know all the other outlets that I'm in, and I'm not going to try to promote everything right now because, like I said, I'm going to get down here and I'm going to get with this bottle of Hennessy and I'm going to get with this food and I'm going to get with my family and I'm just going to enjoy myself. And that's what you should do too. Anyone that you haven't talked to in a minute that you think you might need to, pick up that phone and call them. Don't text them. Call them. Let them hear your voice. Let them hear your voice. Because listen, life is too short to be, messing around with, woulda, shoulda, coulda, and all of that stuff. Go out and talk to people. And then during the week, kick up some conversations with strangers. Let them know that they too are loved and valued. So that's what I have. And as always, I close by saying namaste. I see the light in you. Namaste. I see the God in you. Love you so much, and I hope you have a really awesome evening. Peace.